going to start now with NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine.
As the NASA administrator, this was my first time to be in the room when something like this happened. I've watched it on TV, but really for the first time to be in the room when the data stops and to know how quiet it gets. I mean, it gets really, really quiet. You can't do justice on television with that degree of quietness. And then, of course, once the data comes back, the elation. What an amazing day for me and, of course, the entire NASA team. We're extremely grateful. This was seen on television all around the world. It wasn't just the American leadership that saw it on television, with leaders from all around the world saw it on television. And, of course, populations from all around the world will see it on television, in the newspapers tomorrow morning, and, of course, in social media today, online, in the newspapers. So what an amazing day for our country. But it's not just people all around the world that will see it on television. In fact, people off the world have seen it on television, and they have some things they'd like to say.
It was really something. Got some goosebumps down here watching the coverage.
On TV.
I can't wait to start seeing Marsquakes.
On television.
Start getting temperature flux data coming out of our HPQ. That's going to be truly amazing.
On television.
This is really the first time I've sat down since we landed.
On TV.
I probably can't sit down much longer, so I'm going to stop talking, or I'm going to start jumping up and down again. So Bruce Bannard is our principal investigator. We have been working together for the last 7 years to make this a reality.
On TV.
I'm looking at this image from InSight.
On TV.
So we thank you for all of your excitement. We thank everybody who helped out in the Marco project, and we look forward to all the science yet to come.
On television.
Thank you. I had the privilege to watch
on television
the landing with our science and instrument teams on InSight. So it was amazing watching
on TV
with the scientists and the engineers that have devoted many years of their life to watching InSight land and
on television.
See it actually land successfully
on TV.
And now that we're on the surface of Mars, we have a lot of work to go. So now that we've landed, we start an initial assessment phase. So the first thing we'll do is assess the health of our spacecraft
on television,
and then the health of the instruments that went with us, and then look at our landing site
on TV.
And now we want to look at it in more detail
on television.
We're really looking forward to that.
You hear that?
So which one of you is ready to go to Mars? Are you ready?
We are absolutely ready to go to Mars.
Who's ready to go to Mars up there? I think you're ready. I know you're ready, right?
But we destroyed that technology.
The rocket equation.
His name is Ralph, man.
She was a woman.
Oh, yeah, that would be disastrous.
She'd like to go to Mars very quickly.
The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to.
Epic achievement.
And it's a painful process to build it back again.
The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat.
We just discussed that. She'd like to go to Mars very quickly.
It would kill everyone on Earth.
The one you've just been playing, the one you're carrying inside your rusty innards. Just you reconsider playing that message for him. Have no more of this Obi-Wan Kenobi gibberish. You're fortunate he doesn't blast you into a million pieces right here. No, I don't think I can make it. I'm done for. I can't abide those jars. Disgusting creatures. I would much rather have gone with Master Luke than stay here with you. I don't know what all this trouble is about, but I'm sure it must be your fault. You watch your language. Nobody worries about upsetting a droid. What are you talking about?
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. How dare you pretend? How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. Live with the consequences. How dare you?
Clear. Roger.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
Roger. Clear.
And then SpaceX is about helping make life multiplanetary and doing what we can to continue the dream of Apollo and ultimately make a contribution to life becoming multiplanetary.
Let's talk. There's such a thing as virtual particles that come into existence and then go out of existence in less time than you can actually measure their existence. And totally empty space is seething with virtual particles.
That is real science.
Sorry, flat earthers.
Helium hydride,
the first
type of molecule to ever form
in the universe,
has been detected in
space
for the first time ever.
Helium hydride
has been detected in space for the first time ever.
The first type of molecule to ever form in the universe
has been detected in
for the first time ever.
What does the ISS smell like?
Oh, you can smell a little roast beef.
That's it. So you're telling me your pee was orbiting the Earth?
Apparently, yes. I never thought of it that way, but yes, for a little bit until it crystallized, it kind of disappeared.
No, then it would re-enter the atmosphere.
Yes. Well.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
I peed on everybody.
You peed on Earth.
Yes, I guess
oh
so.
my gosh.
This is actually a container that has urine in it, and we get that from the Russians, and we put that then into our recycling system, our water recycling system. So first it goes into the urine processor, and then from there it goes into the water processor to make us drinking water. We're drinking the urine coming from these ones. We get that from the Russians.
And it's just something that you have to engineer around when you make a spacecraft.
Just as the United States was the first nation to reach the moon in the 20th century, so too will we be the first nation to return astronauts to the moon in the 21st century.
Well, how do you plan to get there? In this trash can?
We're dreaming big.
Well, now I've seen everything.
And it'll get more and more obvious as you go along.
Call and play, everything's A-OK.
That you use, and then a machine that goes chugga, 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 chug, and then you go to the galley and you make yourself a cup of coffee. And that's exactly what you are thinking it is.
We're dreaming big, and it'll get more and more obvious as you go along.
This is Sophia the robot. Sophia, welcome. How do we use AI to stop or slow the spread of the coronavirus?
Turn your television off already. I am going to warn you about a vaccine.
Did I hear her use the word vaccine?
Yeah. Don't wear a mask and don't take any vaccine. Turn off your television and homeschool your children.
Can you help us find a cure?
I already told you. No television, no pandemic. Global pandemic my ass. No globe, and no pandemic.
How can they stop a future pandemic from ever taking place?
Burn your television. Stop believing lies. Where do they get these guys?
Now again, this is the great curve they talk about, plus or minus. That's what all you hear, that's what you hear every day on TV. You see this curve. We must flatten the curve. Flatten the curve, flatten the curve, flatten the curve. The concept is right. Flatten the curve. When they say this, I don't think of a curve. I think of a wave. And the wave is going to break. We're doing everything we can to flatten the curve. Everybody on the globe is flatten the curve.
Your first trip to space. Can you walk me through your feelings and thoughts as you were launching into the space, up to the space station?
Honestly, sometimes we weren't even sure that it was real, but it was just an incredible experience. The Falcon 9 is an awesome ride.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Thank you for your time. Have a good flight and many more exciting experiments on the orbit. Thanks a lot.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
NASA astronauts Kate Rubins and Jeff Williams, now in the cupola workstation of the International Space Station, operating the station's robotic arm, moving through their procedures for drag and capture. Means they are preparing for moving the arm into its capture position to grapple the SpaceX cargo vehicle, now sitting at 11.2 meters away from the International Space Station.
We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
No, now I'm not sure we went far enough out to encounter the Van Allen radiation belt. Maybe we did.
No. Naturally.
I don't know the distance to the Van Allen radiation belt.
Naturally.
And we used to, if we did, it wasn't a problem.
Naturally. Just as it passes over the Indian Ocean, we lose communication.
We destroyed that technology.
No. Naturally. We'll pass through the Van Allen belts.
Maybe we did.
An area of dangerous communication. Radiation.
See things that we don't know.
Naturally, radiation like this could harm the guidance systems, onboard computers, or other electronics on Orion.
This flash of light.
The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore.
Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice.
No.
Once up and once back.
Space is not necessary.
But Orion has protection.
And it looked like it was on the moon. But
shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation.
I'm not sure.
Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
It's a painful process to build it back again.
No, with what we knew at that time, it looked like that would be difficult.
No, space is not necessary.
What did we do? Buzz, why'd you wear that blue suit? Thing's terrible. What are we here for again? Psst, who the heck are you? Where am I? Buzz, why'd you wear that blue suit? Thing's terrible. What are we here for again? Who the heck are you? Where am I? Why are they taking our picture? Do you know? What the heck is going on here? Buzz, why the blue suit? Buzz, what are we even doing here? Do you know Pinhead? They sure took a lot of pictures. Buzz, what's up with the blue suit, dude? Just say we went to the moon. Yeah.
I've watched it on TV. To be in the room when something like this happened. It wasn't just the American leadership that watched it on TV. Leaders from all around the world watched it on TV. And of course, populations from all around the world watched it on TV. Newspapers tomorrow morning, and of course in social media today, online, in the newspapers, watched it on TV. So what an amazing day for our country. But it's not just people all around the world watched it on TV. People off the world have seen it, and they have some things they'd like to say.
Yeah, we watched it on TV.
Dirty image.
Thank you. I had the privilege to watch
On TV.
The landing with our science and instrument teams on
TV.
InSight.
On TV.
So it was amazing watching
On TV.
with the scientists and the engineers that have devoted many years of their life to watching InSight land
On TV.
and see it actually land successfully.
On TV. I've watched it on TV.
Looking into the interior of Mars.
I've watched it on TV.
Why should we all care about this? I know it's exciting, but why should we all care? What do we expect to get out of digging into Mars?
TV.
Okay, so the reason why we're digging into Mars is really just to better understand not just Mars, but the Earth itself. And wonder at the dirty image
on TV.
Several hundred years ago in 1610, Galileo took the first telescope and pointed it up in the sky, and he saw Jupiter. And he noticed over the course of a couple of days that the stars nearby Jupiter were moving into different positions each night. And somehow he figured out by that fact that they must be orbiting Jupiter. And it was a revelation. And it changed our culture and our perspective of ourselves forever. Earth was not the center.
Earth was not the center.
Earth was not the center. And he imagined this.
And he imagined this.
And he imagined this.
And he imagined this. And after that, for centuries, we have imagined.
We have imagined. We have imagined.
We have imagined
how the planets move and how the stars move. And we've only been aided with computer animation or the efforts of Hollywood.
Of Hollywood.
Of Hollywood.
And we've only been aided with computer animation or the efforts of Hollywood.
Can we get that animation, please?
That animation, please.
That animation, please.
That animation, please.
Movie.
Movie.
It comes to my mind that I've had my whole life that I'm hoping we get an answer to is, how'd we get here? How'd we get here? How'd we get here?
How'd we get here?
So that rocked. Seriously.
So that rocked. Seriously.
Was that cool or what?
Was that cool or what?
Woo! 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 Woo!
But we were young and stupid, and how much everybody deserves this great success we've had. Say something profound.
I am terribly humbled by this experience. Secretly, that's the big payoff, secretly.
Team, soup to nuts.
Forever.
And after that, for centuries, we have imagined.
Forever.
We have imagined.
Forever.
We have imagined how the planets move and how the stars move.
And because of that, I say the state of NASA is strong.
When you come in from a spacewalk, you're surrounded by the emptiness of space. It's sort of like the opposite of air. There's nothing there at all. When you quickly repressurize the hatch and you open up the hatch and you smell, what is that lingering smell from a place that used to be exposed to space? The smell in there is a little bit like that trace of a smell of gunpowder or burnt steak, or sort of like brimstone, like a witch has just been there. It's a cool, lingering trace of a smell. I think what it really is, brimstone, like sort of that metallic gunpowder-fired smell, that a witch has just been there. In truth, it smells a little bit like a witch has just been there.
Back to what I was saying about, if you notice the screen behind me, that's the path of the ISS. I mean, that's official. And look at the shape of the screen. It's flat. Check. 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 All right, we're almost done with our pre-launch checklist here.
Kate Rubins and Jeff Williams now in the Googly Workstation of the International Space Station, operating the station's robotic arm, moving through their procedures for dragon capture means they are preparing for moving the arm into...
Arrangement. Dan sat in the pilot seat during this operation, sort of monitoring the motion of the vehicle, making sure that it was steady and that there were very few vibrations of any sort. Here's a picture of the INSAT actually being deployed from the spacecraft. You can see that the deploy went very smoothly. At the moment of deploy, there was a large thump. And as I said, the The spacecraft was deployed.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
We're ready for the event, Houston. Hi, Mike. Welcome to the International Space Station. We hear you loud and clear. Well, one of the most exciting urine samples, we're involved with setting them up. So everybody likes to burn things. I would say it's probably around 8.5 hours of actual work.
He kind of started to cry.
Just like down at home, kind of going on without us, and we really don't have much interaction with urine samples. We're involved with setting them up.
So it wasn't as impressive.
And once we set urine samples on his diet up, it continues and goes on. And there's several that we are the subjects for, such as eating certain urine samples. Everybody likes to burn things. Luca is doing these 4 days right now. He's eating some urine samples, and he'll have some sample blood in his diet. That's a good question. We to see how his body's responding to the different levels of urine samples in his diet, protein and potassium in his diet. So everybody likes to burn things. Those are types of the things that we're doing on the space station, and the workday is much like a workday at home.
So we swallow our toothpaste.
Swallow it.
Yes, that's right. You just swallow the toothpaste.
We are collecting more than ever before in the history of the world.
$1 million for that.
So we're all very excited about getting
$1 million. No, I mean, there are science questions that $1 million extra. The best place to answer them are away from Earth. Fall and
2 months from now, we will be
balling.
All of our astronauts were
balling.
$1 million.
Balling, 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 balling.
We are
balling. Doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling. My phone.
The International Space Station is a national orbiting laboratory. Every single day, we are answering big questions about Earth and about space, about where we came from and about where we're going. We're learning more questions to ask. Known knowns, we know what we know what we don't know, and then there's a whole bunch of things that we don't know what we don't know. And that's the exciting thing to me. One of the exciting things about exploration is that every time we learn something new, sometimes it opens up another can of worms. It opens up five more questions that we want to answer. Known knowns, we know what we know what we don't know, that we don't know what we don't know.
Helium hydride,
the first
type of molecule to ever form
in the universe,
has been detected in
space
for the first time ever.
Helium hydride
has been detected in space for the first time ever.
The first type of molecule to ever form in the universe
has been detected in
for the first time ever.
I'm Don Pettit, NASA astronaut. I'm an angry pig, and I stole the International Space Station. Space Station is a serious place. We're doing pig research. We have a regenerative life support system, which is a fancy way of saying serious research, scientific research, that we've got a research toilet that you use, and then a machine that goes chugga, 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 chug, and then you go to the galley and you make yourself a cup of coffee. Serious research, scientific research, and that's exactly what you are thinking it is.
But water is such a precious resource up here
that we also are cleaning up our urine and making it drinkable. And it's really not as bad as it sounds.
Better you than me.
We even recycle our urine.
Pig.
But before you cringe at the thought of drinking your leftover wash water and your leftover urine,
Chugga, 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 chug.
This is the kind of engineering research that we're doing on Space Station. I want to do some physics demonstrations. Chugga, 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 chug. Some eggs. And don't ask me how I got to eggs on Space Station. I've got a bungee spread across the hatchway. Serious research, scientific research. And this bungee is kind of like a slingshot. And I'm going to show the trajectory that Redbird is going to have when I fire him with this orbital slingshot. Launching Redbird into space. Well, hey, we're already into space. Chugga, 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 chug. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, all the way down. Guess what? Chugga, 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 chug.
Chugga, 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 chug. Chugga, 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 chug.
And if you understand the math, if you understand the physics, it will allow you to go out and get Angry Human, where you're an astronaut and you can fly in space. Angry Human playing games. This is all that's left of Pig after Pig got exploded.
Chugga, 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 chug. Chugga, 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 chug. Chugga, 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 chug.
harness the power of drugs. And I think it's safe to say that drugs, but I think more importantly that we're very good drug players, we're very good drug members, and we do well and we're competent. Drug situations where we have to work closely with other drugs, and based on that past history of success, what it takes is drugs to push the boundaries of drugs and what they're capable of doing. So I mentioned before, we've been up here for about 2 decades on drugs and space station doing drugs and doing drug demonstrations, and every time we take another drug, how we're going to achieve success 5 years from now.
Tripping balls here.
Tripping balls here.
Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve.
My name is Emily, and my question is, how does it feel to know that you are floating in a piece of metal in an endless void?
Get thee hence, Satan.
Go NASA, go NASA, go NASA. Go SpaceX, SpaceX, SpaceX. Go America, America, America. It was just a year and a half ago that the President of the United States put in his State of the Union address He said, "We are going to launch American astronauts on American rockets from American soil." And he looked at me and he said, "You're going to make that happen." And here we are a year and a half later, and with the help of Elon Musk and the SpaceX team, we have delivered. Go NASA, go NASA, go NASA. Go SpaceX, SpaceX, SpaceX.
I especially want to congratulate someone who truly embodies the American ethos of big thinking and risk taking. After achieving success as an internet entrepreneur, he could have spent his fortune doing anything, including yachting, lots of things. He could do lots of things. But in 2002, he began pouring tens of millions of dollars of his own money into research and development for a new rocket. He's a little different than a lot of other people. He likes rockets. He assembled a crew of some of the greatest minds and talent in American aerospace. In the years since, SpaceX has become the first private company to develop and successfully launch its own rocket into orbit, the first to launch and recover its own capsule. And of course, moments ago, SpaceX became the first private company to put humans into orbit around the Earth. Elon Musk, congratulations. Congratulations, Elon.
Yeah, human spaceflight was always the goal, the fundamental goal of SpaceX. Well, like I said, to create the technologies or help create the technologies necessary to make life sustainably multiplanetary. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is the thing that we need to do. We must make life sustainably multiplanetary. It's not one planet to the exclusion of another, but to extend life beyond Earth. We are life's agent in this regard. All the creatures and the plants and everyone that exist here on Earth, we can bring them to other planets, and it's very important that we do so as soon as possible, I think, while the window of opportunity is open. I call upon the public to support this goal, and to think about this goal, and think about how important it is, and how fundamental it is to the future. We've got to get it done. The launching satellites is nice, of course, and it keeps the we've got to bring in more money than we spend. This is important, but it's ultimately all about life beyond Earth. Yeah, human spaceflight was always the goal, the fundamental goal of SpaceX. Well, like I said, to create create the technologies or help create the technologies necessary to make life sustainably multiplanetary. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is the thing that we need to do. We must make life sustainably multiplanetary. It's not one planet to the exclusion of another, but to extend life beyond Earth. We are life's agent in this regard. All the creatures and the plants and everyone that exist here on Earth, we can bring them to other planets, and it's very important that we do so as soon as possible, I think, while the window of opportunity is open. I call upon the public to support this goal, and to think about this goal, and think about how important it is, and how fundamental it is to the future. We've got to get it done. The launching satellites is nice, of course.
Hello, my name is Lechko and I am 10. My question is, they say the universe is infinite and expanding. Can you say how something infinite can expand?
That's a very tough question. In fact, one of the things I love about science is that we deal with questions like that and try to find ways to measure things and make theories and then test them. I do not know the answer to that question, and I hope that someone from your generation in the future will learn enough about it because of science to be able to explain the answer to me someday.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
Thank you to all participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.
Several hundred years ago in 1610, Galileo took the first telescope and pointed it up in the sky, and he saw Jupiter. And he noticed over the course of a couple of days that the stars nearby Jupiter were moving into different positions each night. And somehow he figured out by that fact that they must be orbiting Jupiter. And it was a revelation. And it changed our culture and our perspective of ourselves forever. Earth was not the center.
Earth was not the center.
Earth was not the center. And he imagined this.
And he imagined this.
And he imagined this.
And he imagined this. And after that, for centuries, we have imagined.
We have imagined. We have imagined.
We have imagined
how the planets move and how the stars move. And we've only been aided with computer animation or the efforts of Hollywood.
Of Hollywood.
Of Hollywood.
And we've only been aided with computer animation or the efforts of Hollywood.
Can we get that animation, please?
That animation, please.
That animation, please.
That animation, please.
Movie.
Movie.
It comes to my mind that I've had my whole life that I'm hoping we get an answer to is, how'd we get here? How'd we get here?
How'd we get here?
How'd we get here?
So that rocked. Seriously.
So that rocked. Seriously.
Was that cool or what?
Was that cool or what?
Woo! 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 Woo!
But we were young and stupid, and how much everybody deserves this great success we've had. Say something profound.
I am terribly humbled by this experience. Secretly, that's the big payoff, secretly.
Team, soup to nuts.
Forever.
And after that, for centuries, we have imagined
Forever.
We have imagined.
Forever.
We have imagined how the planets move and how the stars move.
What does the ISS smell like?
Oh, you can smell a little roast beef.
When we first docked with the shuttle, there was a noticeable smell, but you get accustomed to it very quickly. So I can't tell anything anymore.
You know, there was some I don't know how to describe it, but some feeling that it was real air that was coming in. And on the hatch, I think we told to each other, "Hey, can you smell the?"
You can smell a little roast beef.
Special, and we could really smell.
The poop remained in the toilet. We landed with all of our poop, and then the toilet was serviced once we got on the ground. It does, however, on occasion get stinky in space. What you smell in space in the cabin is generally each other. When we landed on the shuttle, after this situation for a few weeks, the people that would open up their hatch would get a whiff of this and be like,
smell a little roast beef.
Was usually the reaction.
Let's say you're up here on ISS and you need to go to the restroom. You want to come to this cabin, and the first thing you want to do is grab this piece of equipment and turn this rotary switch 90 degrees to the open position. What that does is it turns on a fan, which creates a suction effect in this hose so that you can use this yellow element for your number 1. For number 2, the principle is actually exactly the same, suction. We have a solid waste container here, and on top of it...
After you get a little experience, you could do other things like peeing upside down. This was a challenge given to me by a more experienced astronaut who said it is possible to pee upside down. You should try it, and you can. You just flip yourself upside down. You need to be a little more careful. You don't want to do that on day 1. You know, you don't want to hot dog it too much, but...
is this seat. And the solid waste container is connected via this hose to the same fan, so that, again, the same suction effects allows you to do your number 2.
In weightlessness. I want to show you how it looks, but since we don't want any bad smells to come out, we're going to actually turn on the fan. It's going to be a little bit loud. There we go. Now you can lift the lid. There is this seat that sort of looks comfortable, but you don't really sit in weightlessness. So most of us actually prefer to lift this one as well and use directly the opening that goes into the bag. And in fact, there is a bag in there. It looks like this. And when we are done with our business, we close the bag and we push it down into the solid waste container. And then, of course, as a courtesy to the next person, we put a new fresh bag inside. The solid waste container gets changed when it's full, which is roughly every 10 days for a crew of 3 people using it. This one, for example, was installed on the 61st day of this year.
Okay, so where does the pee go if you do it in the spacecraft?
In the spacecraft, it's collected and then dumped, as he described. And you would want to see the urine dump was cool, because you would dump it and it would crystallize and the sun would shine on it, and it was really
beautiful.
Fun. It was something.
I can't believe I'm having a conversation. A beautiful frozen pea in space.
A urine dump.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's a urine dump. Hey, it's a urine dump, and we, before you hit the switch, everyone go to the window and watch. That's it.
So you're telling me your pee was orbiting the Earth?
Apparently, yes. I never thought of it that way, but yes, for a little bit until it crystallized. It kind of disappears.
No, then it would re-enter the atmosphere.
Yes. Well.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yes. I peed on everybody.
You peed on Earth.
Yes, I guess
oh
so.
my gosh.
Now the secret's out. That's it. Yeah. It is possible to pee upside down, which is kind of cool, and it is treated and it is reused. So as my friend Don Pettit says, today's coffee is tomorrow's coffee. As you're sitting on this thing, but you can still, your butt could still come off the back of it, and that's not good. So in order to keep your butt on the toilet seat, we had these two little arms that would press you into the seat. Actually, to help myself get the right position, as I put my arms up like this, like I was riding a chopper, I thought of Peter Fonda in a movie called Easy Rider. And that was a good alignment for me. The poop remained in the toilet. The more experienced recovery technicians would know that ahead of time and be prepared for it.
Probably roughly around day 71, we will have to change it again. But urine
gets recycled.
So from the pretty complicated hydraulic equipment that is behind here and makes the use of the toilet in space possible, the urine actually gets directly transferred to another piece of equipment which is here in the floor, which is called UPA, Urine Processing Assembly, which is the first step
into turning urine into potable water.
What does the ISS smell like? There's one smell up here that's really unique though, and that is the smell, we just call it the smell of space, but we experience it when I haven't had a chance to do a spacewalk yet. I'm still waiting and hoping for that. But when other guys did and they came back in, after we repressurized and opened up the volume for them to come back into the station, there's this really, really strong metallic smell. And I don't know exactly what it is. Something to do with maybe atomic oxygen interacting with the suit materials, or we're not exactly sure what it is. It's a very distinct smell, and it's the smell of space. It's really cool.
And it's just something that it's a continual occurrence. It's like a very small rain, a drizzle, and it's just something that you have to engineer around when you make a spacecraft.
Sometimes I just take things way too far.
Station, this is your president. Do you hear me?
Hello, I'm Sunny Williams. I'm on a flat plane, so you have to have pretty good aim, and you be ready to make sure things get let go the right direction. On a flat plane, and it smells a little bit, so I'm closing it up. And that's, of course, for number 2. On a flat plane, we have gloves just because sometimes it does get messy. And then if things get really out of control, we have disinfectant wipes just to make sure we clean up here. Because, you know, just like the water on a flat plane, I showed you the number 1 stuff can sort of go all over the place if you don't aim correctly. And did I mention both of these have a little bit of suction, so they should keep things going in the right direction. But like I said, sometimes things get a little out of control if you are out of control yourself flying around. On a flat plane.
Do you hear me? Together we are.
On a flat plane.
All across America.
Water is such a precious resource
on a flat plane
that we also are cleaning up our urine and making it drinkable. Drinkable.
Better you than me. Better you than me.
Oh, sir, it was awesome.
Drinkable. Drinkable.
The next day I install and experiment in drugs and how we can make those drugs.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Check. 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 Alright, we're almost done with our pre-launch checklist here. Well, tell you what then, cuz you're gonna hear from Uncle Jesse. He's been talking about the Earth being flat. He's right. So I heard there's some flat earthers down on the ground. What is this now? I need to do an interview with somebody.
NASA astronauts Kate Rubins and Jeff Williams now in the Google's workstation of the International Space Station, operating the station's robotic arm, moving through the procedures for driving capture as they are preparing for moving the arm into.
Yeah, my goal is to have the most space missions of anybody ever in the world. That's my goal. 10-4.
It's very cool. Watch this. When the Soyuz rocket takes off from the pad, it's a violent launch. If I was to launch it right now, I would not be able to hold this microphone in my hand. Oh, what's that in the background there? Looks like a toy. Maybe we should sell it to children. So, any questions? Yeah, you. That's a really stupid question. Next, that I took my hat off. It makes it a little more space-like. Not bad, huh? like I'm floating and this microphone is floating, but that's not the case. Oh yeah, we can wear hats in space, they don't care. Not really, anyway. I'm all away. It's just a toy. But this microphone, let me tell you about this. This thing is heavy. Let me answer your question before you so rudely interrupt me. Jeez. 11-second delay and you're interrupting me. How are we ever gonna have a conversation? I don't quite think so. I'm hitting my head all the time. Yeah, you can chew gum up here. What kind of questions are these? How much does a candy bar cost in space? I don't know. Probably 50 cents. Again? Okay, here we go. Our food is freeze-dried or something. I don't know. We just eat it. We gotta like put water in it and eat it, and yeah. Keeps us healthy, they say. Yeah, let me try to answer your question. It's hard to breathe up here. It's kinda... Okay, what was your question?
What was going through your mind? How amazed were you to see your roadster up there with Starman just cruising along with the Blue Planet? And how long will we be getting live views, do you think, from the car?
Well, I think it looks so ridiculous and impossible. And you can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
Like, we'd have way better CGI if it was
fake.
And you know, the colors all look like kind of weird in space. There's no atmospheric occlusion. Like everything looks too crisp. But we didn't really test any of those materials for, as it's
space hardened or whatever, So fake. It just has the same seats that like a normal car has. It's just fake, like a car in space. Which I kind of like the absurdity of that. And if you look closely, on the dashboard, there's a tiny roadster with a tiny spaceman. And it's still tripping me out. I mean, I'm tripping balls here. Fake. Fake.
Alright, we're off. I'm glad I get a couple minutes to hang out with you guys alone. I wanted to talk about something to you. We're going up to space, per se, in a rocket, and I don't know if it's such a good idea now that I thought about it. Because are we maybe lifting up a shout up against God? Jesus said in John chapter 3 verse 12, "If I have told you earthly things and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things?" And then listen to this, guys. He says this, "And no man ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven, even the Son of Man, which is in him." So what are we doing, you guys? What are we doing? What is the point of any of this?
I think it's going to sound pretty crazy.
Spacefaring entities. Just the launch is difficult enough.
Can't really give you much of a clue as to where this data ended up.
A city on Mars?
Jupiter. Jupiter. Saturn.
Saturn.
Uranus.
Uranus.
What?
Uranus.
No, Uranus.
Uranus.
Everyone just thinks rockets just go up.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond.
Just the launch is difficult enough.
We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
So with that, that will conclude our briefing. Thank you very much.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
And think to yourself, there's no place like home. There's no place like home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no
There's no place like space. There's no place like space. There's no place like space.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
If you can believe that. If you can believe that.
It's running.
station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
So what would you say about this tradition of blessing of the rocket by a priest? Does it something like that exist in NASA in the United States?
That's a really good question. None of us have gone through a launch in the United States, so we're not really sure. I'm going to look into that, and hopefully the next time we talk, I'll have a good answer for you.
Back to what I was saying about, if you notice the screen behind me, that's the path of the ISS. I mean, that's official. And look at the shape of the screen. It's flat.
We also are cleaning up our urine and making it drinkable, and it's really not as bad as it sounds.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Better you than me.
This is all wrong. The world is waking up. And change is coming whether you like it or not. Thank you.
Only 64% are convinced that the world is a ball.
But 64% of what?
Of millennials are not, or only 64% are convinced that the world is a ball. The world is a circle. That the world is a, what is it, a spheroid? Is that what it's called? Oblique.
We're slightly wider below the equator than at the equator, so we're a pear-shaped theoretical oblate spheroid. Right? You ever see the schoolroom globes? That is a gross exaggeration of reality.
Yes.
Do you realize if you took Earth with all of its mountains, valleys, and hills and shrunk it down to the size of a cue ball, it would be smoother than any cue ball ever machined. Our perception of what is round and what is not.
I had asked you to debate one of them flat Earth guys.
No, I don't. No. I can't. No. No, I don't. I can't. No.
I know. We talked about it, and we were gonna have them on Skype.
No, I don't. I can't.
They start actually believing that this stuff makes sense.
Why should someone know automatically that Earth isn't flat? You realize it's just as intellectually lazy to believe everything you see as it is to deny everything theoretical you see. Yet I tell them in the next breath that the entire universe was once as small as a marble. Preposterous. And the other theoretical, except one has evidence to back it. That's what should be taught in school. And it's not. They give you a book and say, learn this, theoretical.
Yeah.
And you'll get tested on it. And then when you're done, learn this, theoretical.
When you have an idea and it's in your head, it's very difficult for people to shake that idea, and they start arguing that idea becomes a part of their identity.
And they dig their heels in deeper when an opposing view is presented to them.
Because they connect themselves to these ideas.
Right. I try not to base my character profile on something that is not yet verified as objective truth.
But when the bill came up, boy, was I shocked. I say, I don't pay for nothing. I'm the king of the slop.
If you lose the horizon, let's say at 12 miles, whatever you could see at 10 miles by 12, it's going under. You can't see it, okay? How could you see Chicago, Illinois 40 miles away?
around the Dark Ages, they thought that the world was flat.
That the majority of people thought the earth was flat. Okay? So, you know, I'm not really going to base a whole lot of credibility. It is? Okay, you know what? You want to have a vote on that? Let's have a vote on that. All right, is the earth flat, actually? Yes, no. All right, we'll do this one here, okay, guys? Give me a second. There you go.
Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve.
Thank you, come again.
Oh, finally! The rain finally stopped. It's a good thing, too, because I want the sun to come out. I'm about to wake Oscar up and show him this pitcher of water. Yeah, that's right. I want to show him this water and how flat the surface of it is. And it's a good thing because I know that Oscar's not grouchy on Saturdays.
Hey, Oscar! Hey, take a look at this! Oscar! I got something to show you! Oscar!
What? I wanted you to see how flat this water was in this pitcher.
Hey, Telly, I'm a grouch.
So?
So? I don't like things that are beautiful. I don't like being bothered for no reason at all.
Yeah, but you would like something I just learned about the water. It's flat.
Why should I like to look at the water?
Because
God made water to be level at its surface.
I don't care about stuff like that.
No?
No. There's no reason for a grouch to care about water.
Yes, there is. There's lots of reasons.
Come on. Why should I care about water? Telly, go away.
But this is something God showed us, and it's true. And he wouldn't have showed us unless it was important. And it is important because it's true. And you're believing lies.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So, listen, who cares?
Well, look, Oscar, I'm only showing you because I care a lot about you.
No, and no!
Oh. So, does that mean you don't want to look at the pitcher of air I collected? Huh. I'll take that as a no.
NASA astronauts Kate Rubins and Jeff Williams, now in the cupola workstation of the International Space Station, preparing for moving the arm into its capture position to grapple the SpaceX cargo vehicle, now sitting at 11.2 meters away from the International Space Station.
What are some of the easiest ways that you can prove that the Earth is flat? There are so many proofs that the Earth is flat. It's difficult to know where to start. And it's not okay to think that the Earth is a sphere. This is not a viable argument. There are proofs all around you. It is not difficult to know that the Earth is flat. In fact, people have known this for way more than 2,000 years. Go out to a lake, flat. And you could make all kinds of measurements. Then there are some other proofs that are a little more obscure, but they're actually really lovely. So people have known that the Earth is flat for thousands of years. It's not okay to say that the Earth curved. And it's something where I keep getting this question. We really need to put this question to bed because we've known the Earth is flat. Flat.
Hello all, and welcome to another episode of Effed Up World TV. I'm your host, Simon Dan.
Thank you, come again.
If Earth is supposedly rotating, why don't you have any proof? It is like you have to imagine something to believe that it is rotating. Why do you think it is rotating? I think it is not rotating. I live on it, and I don't see any reason to believe that it is rotating. What could possibly make you think it is rotating? If it was rotating, you would have evidence of it rotating, but it is just sitting there, perfectly stationary with no signs at all of any rotating.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. How dare you pretend? How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. Live with the consequences. How dare you?
Gravity.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House.
Thank you for your time. Have a good flight and many more exciting experiments on the orbit. Thanks a lot.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
Now again, this is the great curve they talk about, plus or minus. That's what all you hear, that's what you hear every day on TV. You see this curve. We must flatten the curve. Flatten the curve, flatten the curve, flatten the curve. The concept is right. Flatten the curve. When they say this, I don't think of a curve. I think of a wave. And the wave is going to break. We're doing everything we can to flatten the curve. Everybody on the globe is flatten the curve.
This was your first trip to space. Can you walk me through your feelings and thoughts as you were launching into the space, up to the space station?
Honestly, sometimes we weren't even sure that it was real, but it was just an incredible experience. The Falcon 9 is an awesome ride.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
We're tagging an asteroid.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Michelle Fowler from NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, COVID-19. And thank you for joining us. As you can see, I'm struggling with my mask here a little bit. COVID-19. As you can see, I'm struggling with my mask here a little bit. And if everything has gone right tonight, a little bit of Bennu will be coming back to Earth in 2023. So let's get one last visit with our social media desk. James, what's going on? This is one of these evenings where it's such a privilege and a pleasure to be working for NASA and for the idea of scientific exploration. So I'm Dr. Michelle Thaller. As you can see, I'm struggling with my mask here a little bit. We still have to deal with the challenges of COVID-19. So please bear with us today as we are working with our masks and trying to do this the best way we can. As you can see, I'm struggling with my mask here a little bit. COVID-19. For NASA, COVID-19. Bennu, COVID-19. COVID-19. For NASA, COVID-19. Bennu, COVID-19. Bennu, COVID-19. COVID-19. Bennu, COVID-19. Good night.
Because I'm distanced from you, you'd probably have a hard time hearing from me right now. Should I have a mask on and that be muffled?
Mr. President,
you're going to have to take that off, please. You're very muffled, so if you would take it off, it would be a lot easier.
Okay.
I can't hear you!
Hello,
Yes.
I can't hear you. I said I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
I can't hear you. You're very muffled.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Make sure to subscribe to EftUpWorld for more Flat Earth videos. Thank you very much for watching. And until the next one, I'm Simon Dan.
As it lands, it completely disappears from my line of sight.
I got him.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond.
My name is Emily, and my question is, how does it feel to know that you are floating in a piece of metal in an endless void?
That's a very scary question, isn't it?
My name is Emily, and my question is, how does it feel to know that you are floating in a piece of metal in an endless void?
Meet Chris Hadfield, retired NASA astronaut. He seems to be a dumb astronaut.
If someone decides to put forward some stupid idea that is patently false, like if somebody says, the sky is orange, you can have an argument about it if you want, but it's obviously not true.
Looks pretty orange to me.
So there's really no point in even engaging in conversation. Or if somebody says, the world is flat, it's patently untrue.
Looks pretty flat to me.
So there's no point in engaging in conversation, because all you're doing is giving that person credibility for something that we've known for thousands of years to not be true. Why would you engage with someone who is being deliberately ignorant?
Yeah, why would you?
Someone has chosen to take the facts and be deliberately stupid about them.
Kind of like saying we live on a globe.
Then I think they've discounted themselves from rational conversation.
What a dumb astronaut. Do the math. You flat earthers out there, do the math, okay? Calculate this number for me, would you? 0.666 times, I don't want to get it wrong, times distance in miles squared. That's the curvature of the globe, or what they say the globe is. If you have a sphere that's 24,901 miles in circumference, yes, exactly, Roderick. You can, the formula, it's like spherical trigonometry, I think. The formula you can use to find, you could take points and you can mark out points on a sphere, and that formula will work to match the curvature of that sphere if it's 25,901 miles. So it's 0.666 times the distance in miles squared, and you'll get, that'll be your curvature. That'll be how much it would drop from any point if you go a certain distance. So, oh yeah.
On behalf of Ripley, Little Earth, myself, and our crew, welcome to the Crew Dragon.
Nope.
Congratulations to all of the teams who made yesterday's launch and today's docking a success.
Nope.
These amazing feats show us not how easy our mission is, but how capable we are of doing hard things.
Nope.
Welcome to the new era in spaceflight.
Nope. Nope. It's flat.